Hello, this is Ace Combat Fan here, and I was able to play the VR portion of Ace Combat 7 when Bandai invited me to an event in San Francisco. So in this video, I'll be talking about my experience and some of details of what I saw in the gameplay or in the story of the VR portion, not the main campaign. So it's basically gonna be an analysis of the gameplay, kind of give you some feedback and some idea of how the VR portion works. But first, I just wanted to thank Bandai for at least inviting me for that event. It was great. I'm very satisfied with the VR overall. It was great, to be honest. And now let's start. Actually, before that, I should mention that I have a separate video on that, so you can check without my commentary. So you get, to see the in-game video and audio. Here will be just commentary. So let's get started with the video. So you were able to choose the missions. They challenged me to play on hard first, so I picked hard. This is actually the first time I was playing the VR in Ace Combat 7. I had played the VR before in Gran Turismo in the PlayStation 4, but this was my first time in Ace Combat, so I think I did well overall, considering. The controls are the same with your regular control. I was playing with the control, okay? The dual shockers, not the joystick. And I love the intro with the sound effect and how they do it for Mobius 1. So in there, I was able to play Mission 1 and Mission 2. Here you can see that I'm looking to see the environment, looking up. They had some pipes, the lights in the hangar. That guy was saying, hey, waiting for him. He ignored me though. Yeah, you cannot see outside the hangar, but there's some boxes, external fuel tanks and all. Interesting that the events of the VR campaign that take place in 2014, which is different from the main campaign. The main campaign takes place in 2019. But the story mode of the VR is very simple. It's just, Free Rouge strikes again for the second time, and they call Mobius 1 to teach them a lesson again. So it's basically, some unidentified aircraft are coming into our airspace, and unidentified aircraft always mean enemy in Ace Combat, So I gotta go in there shooting down. I was very intrigued because the gun ammunition for the F-18 is 2,400, which is a lot, way more than the other games. And I was able to pick weapons. I chose the EML, the railgun, because it's the new weapon, right? I had to pick it. So yeah, F-18F with the EML. Man, I was very excited to try the EML. I really want to see how much was going to be the power and the feels of it. So after you pick your plane, you get to this little screen. You just sort of, I was looking inside the body of the pilot. It's quite, the instrument panel is quite detailed. You can see the switches and you can see like the oxygen mask. But it takes some moment for the game to load. It takes about, I would say, 15 seconds. It takes a little bit. And then we got introduced to the carrier sequence with the carrier albatross. But now I really apologize for this part. I know it was going back and forth and going black and fading out. That is because I was not properly adjusted on the seat, so I had difficulty with that. So, sorry. I will re-upload the video when the game gets released, doing the mission again, okay? Of course. Don't worry about that. So I waited for takeoff until it was all fixed. You can wait for the takeoff.
Mobius 1, you are cleared for takeoff.
Oh man, I felt so nice when they said you're clear for takeoff. There you go. You can see on the bottom right. Oh, you can see the people there too. There's some lines in the audio from I think the people working at the carrier. There you go, takeoff, full afterburner. You can see my acceleration on the left side. You can see the stick moves, the throttle moves as well. You're gonna see later, and you can change the screens there. You can see the radar on the left side, the weapons on the right side, and you can change to see the instruments like your pitch angle in one of the screens there. So that was actually very cool. So in the beginning, I was just more getting used to the view and the feel of the plane. It really handles a bit heavier than other Ace Combat titles. Checking out with your allies for Mega 11.
You'll find out if he is soon enough. Everyone will.
And of course with the familiar voice of Goodfellow from Ace Combat Infinity, who is the same voice actor for AWACS Sky Eye in Ace Combat 7. AWACS Sky Eye, which you should know, If you played Ace Combat 4 and Ace Combat 5, it's the main AWACS unit that helps Mobius 1 in his adventures against Erusia or Free Erusia. So you can see switching the screens again. You can see that the HUD, it disappears if you look down on the instruments to reduce the clutter, right? The audio when you get inside the cloud, it gets very different. It gets very muffled. Oil tanker there. I just thought it was interesting to see something like that.
The unidentified aircraft are
There you go. You get the alert. Your heart turns red. Same as
Don't let them near the base.
your regular Ace Combat game. So in the beginning we had intercept the Tupolev 160s, and they had, I think, what, some MiG-21s? Yeah, MiG-21s around. The explosions are amazing, guys. Like, it was awesome. You can look back and see if the missiles are trailing you. It really is like if you were inside a fighter jet, like really. Although you can kind of see some of the parts of the plane that are empty, and there is some limitation to how much you can move your head because of the PSVR. But then again, I'm not sure how that's gonna play out when I have my own setup here at home, because I can prepare more for that, right? So you can see the smoke behind the enemy aircraft when they are damaged. The explosion, you can follow them quite a bit from your point of view. And that was Bone Squadron. Bone Squadron is the squadron from Free Erusia. EML time, so you see the little reticle to aim. And I missed it. I think you really have to be very precise with the EML. And this is the, guys, did you see that? When I saw that moment playing the game, my heart just like stopped when I was looking at it. An asteroid falling on Earth. It was so unexpected to see in this mission. But guys, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with Ace Combat, that I'm pretty sure that means Ulysses is still there in the atmosphere orbiting Strange, which, if you don't know, Ulysses is the asteroid that fell in the 1990s and just wrecked half of Strange, like, pretty bad. So this is the one detail that I noticed when I was playing that I don't think anyone else did, and even if they noticed, they probably wouldn't know the importance of it. So I'm now wondering if Ulysses is still a threat to Strangedrew, which I don't know if it is, but it could be, or it could be just showing the graphics. I don't know, but I was very surprised. When I saw it, I could not stop staring at it. It just like froze my heart. I was like, oh my god, it's Ulysses. And let's continue, I guess. It's very impressive. You see, it's kind of it's the same asteroid though, because I rolled the aircraft around and it just vanished. I was very impressed with that part.
You're behind on target kills.
You can see that, you know, if you look back too much, you can see some parts of your seat that are kind of empty on your aircraft. But yeah, shooting with the EML, it's you have to be very precise, and the reload time is very long. Because it's like a one shot, one kill, that's why the reload time is so big, because you can't just keep spamming like in Ace Combat 6 with the Nosferatu. And yeah, I tried to do some flybys. The water looks pretty cool. The islands and the vegetation, on the other hand, it's not that good. You know, you can see some details, but the water is good. I really enjoyed the water. And of course, myself being a daredevil, trying to fly upside down, close to the water. What I noticed about flying upside down in Ace Combat 7 is that your aircraft is very stable. In Ace Combat 6, you put your plane upside down, it's gonna lose a lot of altitude. And you have to put a lot of your pitch to counteract your going down. So you basically have to pitch down, but you're going upside down, so that means pitch up, right? In Ace Combat 7, on the other hand, it's very stable. You put your aircraft inverted, you don't lose a lot of altitude, which is pretty good if you want to keep your altitude. And now, looking at the base, I'm not sure if you notice, but this is the same base we have seen in the trailer, the same shape. It's the Fort Grace base, according to the briefing here.
I'll be the judge of that.
Then you guys rejoin your friendly units. With the contrails are nice. It's easy to see them.
We're picking up something new.
And you
on
can see that
radar.
they show on radar. It's a little bit hard on show the radar because you have to look down into your instruments.
Enemies en route. Close.
But it's nice. It's nice. It's realistic. I had to skip this part because I pressed the share button on the PS4 controller. Sorry, it's the muscle memory. To change your radar, you actually have to press on the middle here on your PS4 controller. That's how you change your radar. You can have the small view or you can expand to see like the entire map, but it's all in that small screen in the cockpit. It doesn't pop out. And we got another flight of enemy aircraft. This time they improved. Now it's the Mirage 2000 instead of the MiG-21. Oh boy.
There's an enemy unit.
Then I tried with the EML this time to see if I actually could destroy the enemies, and I missed miserably. You can see it hits the water and does a splash. And there's quite a bit of like the sonic boom kind of thing. And if you heard me playing on the original video, you can hear when I try to press the missile, it doesn't fire because it's still reloading. I think that in Ace Combat 7 the reload time was increased a little
Something
bit.
just came up on our radar. Looks like enemy reinforcements.
Alright, you can see there's some houses, some facilities on those islands, which was interesting. I thought this part was awesome because I'm gonna get really close to this Mirage. Look at that, guys! It's awesome. Like you can see from them so close. It's awesome, and the graphics are good for the enemy planes, especially when you're so close and you destroy them and you can see the explosion. But now finally I hit with the EML. That was I had to redeem myself. Yeah, the water looks pretty good. You can see there's some change in the color of the sea. You have the dark blue for the regular, but then on the shore it's a little bit brighter. That's me trying to fly inverted and keep the relatively same altitude. You could do that. It's very easy to fly inverted in Ace Combat 7 because the planes are a little bit heavier and more stable. Other Ace Combat games is not so easy. And missing miserably again. And now it looks like the enemies have upgraded the MiG-29. It's awesome. When this part, it's awesome. There you go, the explosions, and it's awesome. Now this might be dangerous if you are
3 targets remaining.
not looking to where you're flying in your low altitude. You might crash if you keep looking at enemies. And then they upgrade to the Sukhoi 34, which we don't know yet if it's gonna be playable in the game. I hope it is, because the only attackers we have now are the A-10 and the Nighthawk. So I hope the Sukhoi 34 is playable. It's in the game already, right? So they might as well make it playable. And just get wrecked with the EML. That's good. That's the last one. You can get close, you can see the smoke. Go for the gun kills, and it's
Mission accomplished. Good work.
it's so awesome to see them die up close. And I ended up forgetting to bust the tower after the mission was over. But you can see there's some trails of smoke around there on the down enemy aircraft.
Until then,
And I think those hangars right there on the left side right now are where we are based at the very beginning of the game. I can tell by the shape, right? And there's me trying to fire the missile. And I almost crashed on the allies here. I was like, oh, but they look, yeah, it looks pretty cool. The VR was awesome. The graphics are really good. The one thing you might have seen me doing the game is to try to adjust the PSVR. The thing with the PSVR, you can get really good graphics, seriously, but it has to be perfectly adjusted to your head, to your eyes as well. That's why I did a lot, like trying to push it down so it adjusts. The graphics are really good. It's almost the same, if not better, than what you guys see on the video. Just the impression that I had. And we also get to land on the carrier, the Albatross, which was pretty cool. And I did couple loops there to see how it's gonna handle.
Excellent landing.
And
nice job, Mobius 1.
I mean, I landed the first time and I survived, so I'm happy. I just think I came in a little bit high. But they always compliment you if you don't die, so okay, thank you. But overall, the game is looking pretty good. I think if you take into consideration the time, it's gonna be what? A 12 mission. I mean, 12 minute gameplay per mission. So maybe 1 hour for all the not 1 hour. 45 minutes for the 3 missions. And with the mission results, I got an A rank, which I think it's understandable because I wasn't really going for the kills immediately. I wanted to get the view a little bit, and we unlocked the Sukhoi 30 M2. We get some medals for the VR portion, which are nice. That's the save icon right there. And there still is a couple more to go, but I'll leave that for mission 2. But overall, you can watch mission 2 on a separate video. But overall, I'm very glad with what I was able to play. I'm not sure if this is the final version of the game. It's probably relatively very close to being the final version, but it was very fun. Your gameplay is awesome. There's not much story, which I didn't expect at all because it's like an arcade mode. But graphics are good. Gameplay is awesome. I can see a lot of replay value. And even, you know, if you have a friend of yours in your house and you really want to impress them, put them in the VR seat. Maybe don't let them play because you can play better, of course. But just for joining in the ride, it was amazing. Lots of replay value, and it was very fun. Now, just some thoughts on the VR. I know VR in Ace Combat 7 is supposed to be, as Kono said himself, it's supposed to be a possibility of the future of Ace Combat, which from gameplay perspective, it's awesome. Story perspective, I doubt it. They could make a game that is very basic, intense on the VR, because I don't know how you'd make the cutscenes and the characters and the story, but it's definitely an awesome experience. And hopefully, we've been told it was going to be 5 missions on the VR before, but now it's been cut down to 3. But I don't know, maybe they'll put some DLC missions. Or even remake some missions from past games, but in the VR, like, you know, fighting Megalith or something on the VR. That would be so awesome. If the VR can handle it, I don't know. But yeah, I'm very glad I was able to play the VR. It's awesome. If you're getting on PS4, you don't have the PS VR, you're in it for one heck of a ride, which is pretty good. And if I wasn't able to answer some of the questions that you guys had, or if you still want to know a little bit more, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer as best as possible. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this commentary on the VR portion of the game. Of course, the VR is something you can only experience when you have the VR headset. But I hope this gives you an idea. It's looking really good, and you play the same way as Ace Combat. And I did not feel nauseated or like motion sick at any time. It was... I don't know how they did it, but that was awesome. Thank you, Project Aces. So yeah, that's my report. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and see you guys next time.